Bradley. I go by Sirex in the jailbreak community, and basically I wanted to talk a little bit about, because very often I'll get a question, you know, where can I go to start learning how to create tweaks? Who can I talk to? Are the websites that with web pages that are just called how to develop a tweak? And there's really not that many great resources that I found that are that simple. So what's really useful is IRC, which Britta talked about a little bit yesterday. You can basically talk to almost anyone in the community who's on there. And that's where I got in touch with Hashbang Productions, who I work with currently. So you know, you can go onto the Theos channel and learn more about using Theos and ask general development questions, or iPhone dev, which will also, you know, you can ask pretty much anyone there. I know Ryan Petrich is always in there, and Dustin Howlett. And then the iPhone dev wiki is really useful. You can find a lot of good information on there. And then one of the best places to start is developer.apple.com, which is Apple's own developer website. They have lots of guides called Getting Started, Creating Your First App. You know, very useful things just for getting a kickstart and learning how to use the SDK, Xcode, and just getting, you know, started in the Objective-C language. And then Twitter is also a great resource to get in touch with people who aren't necessarily an IRC or you can't contact through Cydia. And then one of the most useful things for me is GitHub, because you can read other developers' source code. Like Ryan has tons of his tweaks open sourced on GitHub, and then the Hashbang team has lots of our tweaks available on our GitHub. So reading people's source code, and you know, you can kind of manipulate it and kind of, you know, use it to do something that you're trying to accomplish if you can't kind of figure it out by yourself. So those are all really good resources, and you know, because you can read from books, textbooks, things like that, but you know, it's kind of hard to learn from a book when you can't ask a book questions. So those are, you know, the resources that I use that help me get started in developing tweaks.
Hello everyone, I'm Julian Weiss, or insanj. You've probably heard me back in my row the last 2 days because I like to talk a lot with my different development teams which I have listed up there. I just want to talk briefly about Reddit and different communities like Reddit out there that frequently aren't respected necessarily, and a lot of developers, especially people I work with, are like, I don't want to deal with that because it's just a bunch of people asking questions that I don't have the time to answer. So also I apologize, I don't do a lot of public speaking about this because I just started a few months ago. And I've only joined all these groups because they're all people that I know or have been able to talk to on IRC or on these communities that Sirex was talking about. So I first started getting into jailbreaking just a few months ago, as I mentioned, on the r/jailbreak subreddit. If any of you aren't familiar, if you go to reddit.com/r/jailbreak, you'll get there instantly. And it's pretty easy to understand what it is. But you'll notice that if you go there, 90% of the posts are people asking questions that developers don't want to answer. They don't have the time to answer. The questions like, why doesn't Sirex block piracy? Or like, why don't we just make all tweets free forever so that we don't have to deal with money anymore? And like, when people see that, they think, well, who cares about Reddit? And if someone posts like, check out this great new tweak, and then everyone's like, I bought another tweak by them, why don't they give me this one for free? People lose interest. Like, it doesn't make any sense to anyone, the developers or the users. But Reddit's a really important platform because there's such a big community, and even people who are behind Cydia and the community that makes up Cydia go there and moderate it and talk to people. When I made a really large Ask Me Anything or AMA thread on there yesterday, it got so much attention that I couldn't have gotten from Twitter or Facebook or any other closed platform that doesn't have tens of thousands of subscribers. So I think that overlooking the majority of users that you can easily reach out to just by hitting create new self-text is kind of, I mean, ignoring that is kind of weird. It's not helping your cause, and it's not helping you stop piracy or stop your spam of empty Cydia APTA tickets. I'm sure I don't get to sit here and tell you, but I set up my own little Gmail label just called empty tickets, and I just like send it there every time I get it. It's full of like hundreds of them. But I think that people should go to Reddit and talk to people there because that is really, it's become the most vibrant community because it's easy to look at your threads and it's way easier to keep track of your messages I made the orange red and neon would be like, so if you do it, then you'll have to buy my tweaks anyway, so like you're helping me. So I think you should check it out. Go to the website, look at everything. If you don't like it, you don't have to stay. There's no subscription. It's always free, and it's always going to be free. And the only ad is normally a big kitten anyway. So, thanks.
Or my name is Kirb, or the Kirb developer on Twitter, and I'm a tweak developer. If you don't already know me, you can see there on the right type status, maps opener, and on the left flag pane. And you can install these just by pressing a few buttons in Cydia, waiting for download, and that's it. You've got a whole new part of your system installed. It's definitely not that easy to make these things. Originally I got into jailbreak development because I've been jailbreaking for quite a while, and I had a few ideas. Some were way too complex for me to work out, and so they were way too hard for me to write at that time, because I just started learning Objective-C. So I picked the simplest, which was to disable but not turn off the device when you reach 2% battery. This was important so I didn't have to rerun Redsnow to boot it up. Okay, it made its way onto my download blog's list of 4 pointers tweaks shortly after. That was definitely discouraging, but I didn't give up. I continued building my thoughts. One of the latest being, again, type status, which I honestly didn't expect to be too popular, but it's our second most popular tweak at the moment. I just thought it'd be cool to make a small idea into a reality. That's it. Continued to gain popularity. Feature requests came piling in, so within a few months I extended it. The simple status bar icon concept into a much more convenient overlay, as you can see there on the right, that pushes out the status bar and shows you who's typing. So if you're looking to get into tweak development, don't be discouraged by negativity around stupid or useless tweaks. Not every tweak is for everyone. Hey, you might even be up here one day.
I'm sorry for the bad slide. I made it run on my iPad. I'm Daniel. My Twitter is Daniel2, though everyone knows me as theiostream. I'm part of Payton Coding Company, LLC. Yes, that's an actual company. No, it's not. Anyway, I recently made research on Spotlight, how Spotlight works internally, so that when you search for something like Bozo, it won't just show this thing, but it will also show other things which are down there, like a Bozo Zombies thing on Cydia, yeah, or I have no idea what these things are. Anyway, I have news here. So yeah, search can be extended. One of the things that I didn't like about search is that things were local, so you had to type stuff, and then it wouldn't be practical. It might be faster, but you could just type stuff and go there without having to type anything. But with stuff like the App Store, where you have to type anyway, but to type, you have to load a lot of pages and content. It's just easier to type stuff as Spotlight. And now, yeah, I made Search Loader, which is something which allows you to create those plugins. I can explain because I have little time. So yeah, it's on GitHub, github.com/theiostream/searchloader, and examples are at theiostream.com, github.com/theiostream/search and something who a friend made and asked me to share with you is a video which is at 60, please note it down, HTTP 65.52.116.67/ all caps img_0070.mob. Yeah, it's really cool. Do watch that. Anyway.
with GraphBoard. So in case you aren't familiar with it, it's basically a tweak that brings the graphene springboard and adds all the icons in the simulation. And I thought I'd talk a little bit about how that works, because it's magic to some people, and also a little bit about the community itself. So GraphBoard works by, it starts out and it takes all the sizes and the positions of the icons and it puts it into a physics engine. So in this case, the physics engine is called Box2D, and 60 times a second, it gets the location from the physics engine and just changes it on the device. So it's pretty straightforward, but then it also does things where if you touch on the screen, it'll actually create a joint, which is basically something that the icon can rotate around. So if you touch an icon, it makes a joint between your finger and the icon, so you can fling them around. That's how it works with that, and it uses the gesture recognizer to get that stuff. So yeah, it's pretty fun to play with. I've gotten a lot of people that emails, that they only use GraphBoard, which I find weird. But I've gotten those emails. So the one thing I kind of want to stress is kind of what Ryan is doing with Tweakly. Pretty much, there's a lot of material out there, and people aren't very good at finding it, or understanding it in some cases. So I would like to stress that there's a lot of things on GitHub from me, from Ryan, from everyone in the community, and also IRC. So pretty much most of us are on there all the time, and we're all human. So we answer questions, we interact. So if you have a question, I would really encourage you to ask me. It's actually fun to get questions, because then you get to explain to someone and answer to someone that really can benefit from your knowledge. So that's pretty much the presentation. But yeah, thank you.
Just before we finish up for the day, guys, we're just going to ask iCarbons and Richard from Jailbreak Matrix. They're just going to talk for a couple of minutes as our sponsors. So,
we go and put in the obligatory self-promotion here. No, but we do appreciate everything that you guys do. It was an honor last year to be able to be a part of the event, to be a part of the community. We know we're not directly related as far as what you guys do, being able to really alter the way that people interact with their devices, but we do appreciate being able to be associated with the community. Things like what they spoke about with My and Kyle, and because of Ezra thing. When we very first started iCarbons and we were cutting them out of a second bedroom in a house or something, and then getting a chance to work with them, they actually gave us some exposure on their blog site and tried to get us involved in the community. And now to be able to sponsor the community itself to help with an event like this, it really is nice to go full circle. So we do appreciate everything you guys do, and we have some free skins for the WWJC iPhone 5 if you'd like to pick those up before you leave. Otherwise, again, we appreciate everything that you guys do.
Can I just do some, again, shameless promoting for Jailbreak Matrix? Let's just say, without any energy drinks, I wouldn't be awake right now. This whole thing has been running on energy drinks for me. You guys may know us, Jailbreak Matrix. We've been around for a little while, but we wouldn't be around without you guys. We wouldn't be. We share every new tweak we can find. If you ever want to make sure your tweak's on our site, send us a message or tweet us to our Jailbreak Matrix on Twitter, or me, Classic Turkey. Same with Shelfless Promotion for myself. I also do graphic design, motion design, and web design. So any of your apps, if you want to redesign for iOS 7 or anything complete UI, I will gladly redesign it for you. And we just want you guys to know that without you guys, we would be nowhere without you guys. So thanks a lot. buy one of these from them, or get one, or donate to get one of these. I'm actually going to purchase one myself right now, though, because they're iCarbons. It's definitely worth it.
And that's it, guys. Thank you for everyone for coming out this year, all the way to New York. Safe trip home. We are going, I don't know if anyone wants to join us, but we are going to a bar to have some food in New Rochelle. So everyone's more than welcome to join us. We might fill the place, but yeah, you're all more than welcome to join us. Thank you all for coming, guys.